like we in Brazil were taught. Like I remember when I discovered Exhorder, a friend of mine showed a cassette and gave to me. Like, oh, listen to that, and I was like, fuck. And I'm not a really fan of Pantera, the thrash metal era, and I said like, well, it seems like they are doing what Pantera tries to do, but much more like linked to the roots of thrash metal. And then it's like the question is like, who influenced who in this? Because I know Pantera and Exhorder they have about the same age, but Pantera was a glam metal, and you were already a thrash metal band.
Well, Pantera had an evolution. Like you said early, they were kind of glam-ish, and I don't know if necessarily the music was as glam as maybe the appearance, but a lot of heavy metal bands. I mean, I played in heavy metal bands before I was an Exhorder, where I wear the spandex pants and
Yeah,
black eyeliner, and we all kind of did at some point.
yeah,
Not everybody, but some people did. A lot of the thrash bands we love today, Slayer, Destruction, they wore makeup and leather and spiked
yeah.
wristbands and stuff. Uh, but
Excellent.
Pantera, were very good before even before Phil Anselmo joined them. They were very good and well established at what they did. A very hardworking band. Now Phil is from New Orleans, like we are. We've known each other since we were teenagers. Been friends for a very long time. In fact,
Oh,
that platinum album on the wall back there was a gift from Phil. That's for Far Beyond Driven.
wow.
So we've been friends for a long time. I think a lot of the controversy was media and fan driven more than anything. For me, I did, I was friends with Daryl as well. I've been friendly with Rex a long time. I've known these guys for years. So we doing what they ended up doing before they were. In a way, there was things that we were doing that they eventually did, and we were doing them first. But that doesn't necessarily mean I think that there was anything, any kind of blatant ripoff or anything. I know that Phil almost joined Exhorder for a minute because they were forming, the band was reforming and I wasn't interested. So Phil was asked by the band if he wanted to sing, and he said yes. And when I found out Phil wanted my job, I took my job back.
No,
So that's kind of how that went. And I think Phil, maybe there were a lot of bands interested in Phil at the time. I know Metal Church was interested in Phil, so I think he went to the guys in Pantera and was like, I'm really interested in doing something a little bit more than what we're doing right now, so y'all hear me out. And I think they just kind of hashed it out. And I know we were we're still one of Phil's favorite bands. He's told me this before, and people I know tell me the same thing. I know he's a huge fan, and he helped us tremendously build the underground in the Dallas Fort Worth area when he was living out there with the Pantera guys, just building all that stuff. So it's a frustrating thing to me because uh, I guess it's kind of like the poor man's version of Metallica versus Megadeth, I guess.